It marks 1 year since San Francisco launched its program aimed to crack down on the city's open-air drug markets. Law enforcement has been focusing on disrupting rampant drug use and sales in the Tenderloin and Soma neighborhoods, all in an effort to curb the ongoing opioid crisis. Well, just today, attorney Brooke Jenkins announced charges against 2 men accused of narcotics trafficking in the Tenderloin. To 1,000 since this program was launched, but advocates really question if the arrests are more like a Band-Aid instead of a full treatment of this problem. They spoke with our Kelsi Thorud.
In the past year, the mayor's office says close to 200 kilos of drugs have been seized and more than 3,000 people arrested, thanks to a new program they launched last year. Now, it's a milestone that city officials are highlighting as a success, but one that local organizations say may just be a drop in the bucket on an issue that needs a much broader approach to find true success.
Let's see if someone will. Yeah.
Michael Dizapola helps people with substance abuse issues get the services they need here at Glide Memorial Church in the Tenderloin.
For us, we want to look at what are the circumstances that people who use drugs are under on the streets, or people with mental illness on the streets, and how could we make access points for them available.
Michael and the rest of the staff at Glide work daily with people who often buy drugs off the street. He says one of the biggest health concerns they see is the type of drugs available in the city.
The reality of the matter is the supply is not safe.
To try and combat those illegal drugs, the mayor's office launched the Drug Market Agency Coordination Center in May of 2023. Now, 1 year later, they say close to 90 kilos of fentanyl alone has been seized by police, as well as close to 50 kilos of meth. According to their data, over 1,000 dealers have also been arrested, in addition to close to 1,300 users. Michael told me he understands the city's approach, but still doesn't think it will solve the big picture problem alone.
Incarceration and law enforcement has not been proven to be able to change the conditions for people who use drugs. And the same thing applies here. Even if we're getting some substances off the streets, we still have a lot of substances on the streets. People are still able to get drugs on the streets.
We actually ran into a man not far from Glide who confirmed that to us. Bo Rawlings says he's struggled with meth addiction for years and says even now it's not hard to find a dealer to sell it to him.
Depends on what what kind of drugs you're really asking for, like the fentanyl, the meth. I've never asked these guys for heroin or opiates, but I'd imagine that would be a little bit harder.
Michael says what he believes needs to be done to help more people like Bo is a more comprehensive and caring approach to getting those with substance abuse issues off the streets and into treatment.
We just need to continue to invest in these type of programs. And what we've been seeing is to some degree a demonization of, or a polarization of, it's either law enforcement or it's harm reduction. And that's not what we see as viable. We think all of the options really should be available, right?
And Michael told me he believes that one of the biggest things that still needs to be focused on is direct support for people who are really in the thick of addiction. He says he hopes the city, as well as other organizations around the Bay Area, continue to focus and fund those types of programs.